Bro, of all of the videos that you can be waiting on, this is the one that you have been waiting for in the El Camino, El Chapo, Hondamino build series. This is the one where we get the car painted. We have a Hurricane on the way, and also the shop truck link down below could still be yours. This is a good one. Let's get started.
And now, you're watching the Just in Time for Fall Pumpkin Spice Flavored Hemi Cream channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
Hey, so what is up, and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me yet again on another video. So last night we had a storm come through, little hurricane. It wasn't too bad over here, but before I can get focused and before I can get busy on working on the car and working in the shop and doing what I need to do, I need to get the yard cleaned up a little bit. So I just got to take this to the front. I think I'm going to do a little bit of cutting, and I'm not going to want to walk it. And we have a beautiful flatbed truck that I can utilize while I still have it. So let's go ahead and grab the shop truck, cut some of this stuff up out of here, clean up the yard a little bit, and once all of that's settled, we'll actually get into the shop and do what I need to do today. Oh, and also, as I'm getting the shop truck situated, I'll show you a little clip from last night just so that way you can see how it was. It wasn't too bad, but you'll see. So I wanted to show you guys this. A lot of you guys were asking me what's going on. It's about 10 o'clock at night over here, and I'm sitting, just hanging out, watching the storm. It's pretty calm right now. The wind was picking up quite a bit earlier, but ultimately Lola and I, we're just hanging out, waiting for the storm to either get crazy or not, and we'll see what happens in the morning. I'm just hanging out, and I wanted to show you guys what was going on. Woo! Picking up now. Picking up now. Good stuff flying around. All right, now it's starting to rain. Okay, come on, Lola. You ready to go in? Come on, good girl. Okay. We'll see you guys when this gets settled. Stay safe out there. All right, let's clean up some trees. So now that we made light work out of getting the yard cleaned up, the next thing that I want to focus on is getting the underside of the hood painted and then installed for the final time. trying to keep everything moving a little bit more quickly for you as the viewer to not show you every single boring step. We got the hood back on. As you can see, underside is painted. I didn't clear the bottom of that because a lot of OEM cars don't go with the clear, and I just thought it'd be neat to have a nice little OEM touch to it. I was also thinking it would be cool to put some kind of Honda stickers under here, like the setup of the belts or just some of those like OEM looking stickers, just to throw people off a little bit more. I also did a little bit of a primer over here. I have this white primer that I had a little bit left of, so I just went ahead and I used that so that way I can show myself where I need to go back and sand. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pressure wash and degrease the entire car. So this degrease is going to get any kind of sweat that might have been dripped on the car as it was being sanded. Also too, to get this water in here and really clean out all of these edges, it's super necessary. I would want to do this outside because I don't necessarily want to get water all in the shop, but I also don't want to get weird water spots on the car and have it dry in the sun. So either way, it's all good. When we did the slab, we did it so that way the water would drain out the front door, and it actually does it pretty good. So it should be fine. So let's go ahead and go down with a degreaser, pressure wash, and get all of the dirt off of this thing so that way we can eventually get into masking this thing off. We're getting real close and I'm getting hyped. So as I was washing the surface, I was using a maroon scuff pad, and the maroon scuff pad really gets all the grease off it, and it also sands the entire surface one last time. If I hit any area that I kind of snagged with that scuff pad, I can just smooth it over. The soap helps me out for smoothing it. The soap also gets rid of all of the contaminants, and the water at the end pulls off everything. That very last step of that final wash is so important for a good clean paint job, and I would definitely recommend doing the same if you're going to be painting a car. So right now it has been a long time coming. It is time to go ahead and get started. We are going with a white sealer, then we are going with that championship white Honda NHO base coat, kind of an homage to the Honda motor. We are going with a Honda color. Nobody would really know unless you know, and that makes it cool. And then we are going to stack some coats of clear on top of this. Now, I know I had mentioned leading up to all of these videos that I plan on doing some type of a retro paint job, but throughout the process of how to do that, what we need to do is we need to go white over the entire thing, then clear the entire thing. Then once that's all done, I will wet sand the entire thing, making sure I don't break through any of the clear coat, then do whatever graphics I decide on. And I'm still a little bit indecisive. There was one that I was really set on, but then I kind of started to second guess it, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on because I want to hear your input on that. So once the clear coat is all sanded, then we will do our graphics, then we will re-clear everything. So anything that did not get graphics on it is going to basically get a flow coat. And what a flow coat essentially is just clear coat being sanded down and then re-cleared just to become that much more smooth. And that's really how they do like rally stripes and whatnot on cars. Like let's say you have a blue car, you do blue base coat, you do clear coat, you scuff the entire surface, then you do your white rally stripes, then you re-clear everything. So that's just kind of standard practice when it comes to doing graphics and doing stuff on a paint job. So as I'm kind of looking at this car, thinking, reflecting on this project, this vehicle by far has been the worst vehicle that I have ever painted. So if it becomes a decently good paint job, I'm really happy with it, and we can only go up from there. I think it's going to turn out really good. Is it going to be perfectly razor straight? I don't think so. Was this car sitting ready to go to a junkyard? Yes, it definitely was. So let's go ahead and get that sealer knocked out. This right here is a Sherwin-Williams in-house dimension line. Really good line. All the stuff over there is really good stuff. So let's go ahead and get the sealer done, base coat done, clear coat done. Well, I'll check in with you between each steps. I'm a little bit nervous, but we are going to knock this thing out. So we got the sealer down. As you can see, it is white. It looks real solid. Now some people ask, why do you use sealer, and what cases do you use sealer, and what even is sealer? The way that I like to look at it, sealer is just like a thinner primer. It is one more final foundation for the base coat to go on. Also, since I'm using a white base coat and a white sealer, I'm going to have to use less product when it comes to my base coat, or it's going to cover better. So by 2 coats I should be really good. Or in some other circumstances, if you did 2 coats, you might have some thin spots, but this will just help us make sure that we have good, consistent coverage, get us a little bit more assurance that we are going to be smoothed out in the end. I've also heard before that a sealer underneath base coat and clear coat is a little bit spongy, so it helps rocks and whatnot, so that way you're not getting as many rock chips. But as you can see, it is way blown out, but looking good. So let's go ahead and get that base coat mixed up, spray it down, then we will get into that clear coat, man. Really good, really exciting stuff. It's been a long time coming for this, and I am so hyped. Alright, so we have the base coat done. As you can see, it's flashed off. It looks a little hazy. That's exactly what we were going for and how it is supposed to look. So now that the championship white is laid down, it is time to get into the fun part. The fun part for me is doing the clear coat. Dude, the base coat is a little bit more stressful. You gotta make sure you get full coverage. You gotta make sure you're getting it everywhere. You gotta make sure you're laying it out nice and consistent. It's a lot easier for me to make clear coat consistent because you just kind of wet the whole thing on there. Gotta get it decently thick for the first coat. Then that second coat, we are going to really stack it on there. I'm going for a very factory texture finish, a very minimal orange peel, if any orange peel at all, because keep in mind this whole thing is going to get sanded down, and then the graphics or whatever we decide to do, who knows, dude. This thing might look so solid in full championship white, I might change my mind. But I don't think I want to do that. I want to do something cool with this. I plan on doing that all along, so we'll probably stick to it. But this thing is going to look good full championship white, and then I'll make a decision eventually on what exactly I want to do. So let's go ahead and get that clear coat mixed up. We're going to do a medium to wet coat and then a heavy coat, and this thing will be done for now. Yo, some people miss, and then there is me. I don't miss on this stuff, man. I am super hyped for this paint job. This vehicle was so bad right when I first got it that I was really debating on just saying, forget the paint job, we were just going to scuff it down and bedline the entire thing, because of how every square inch of this panel, every square inch of this car needed to be blocked so many times, and for how good I got it, don't get me wrong, there's a couple waves here and there, but I don't care. I will take it. We're not going to SEMA. You just want people to say, why did you take a beautiful El Camino and put a Honda motor in it, where in reality, we took a junkyard special, body swapped it with a Honda CR-V. Now we got a really super clean body. I am so happy with how this came out, dude. I was working week after week, and I was really down on myself that it was taking so long for me to get videos out there. I don't know if you've noticed, but recently my videos have slowed down as far as how often they come out, just because I've been doing so much stuff that I don't necessarily care to film. Blocking the panel, primer, guide coat, blocking, bodywork, filler, the whole thing, shaving the fuel door on the other side, putting in that custom one, getting the hood, worked out. I had 2 different hoods that I had bought for this thing, both of them being dented. The one that we got on here, I even had to body work a little bit as well. But dude, it looks perfect. Very minimal factory texture is what we got, and I am so happy with this thing, dude. I don't know what to say except to just look at it. And it's insane to me that this thing even went back together with halfway decent body lines. I mean, door to fender proximity looks good. Door to rear quarter panel looks pretty solid. For doing a body swap, I'm okay with pretty solid. If this was a 100% factory vehicle, I'd be a little bit more tedious about it. But if it kind of passes, I'm happy with it, and I think it beyond kind of passes. So what I'm thinking next is I want to go ahead and put the wheels back on this thing. Pro tip, if you're going to be painting a car, make sure you take off the wheels so that way the wheels aren't constantly biting your air hose as you're trying to maneuver around it. I didn't need the car to become higher or lower. It's actually probably sitting a little bit lower than it would, if not the same height. But again, I took off those wheels so that way I'm not biting my airline as we go around. And speaking of wheels, I have some other wheels for this thing. I actually have Mustang wheels, like 05 through 09 Mustang wheels. So we got Honda drivetrain, Chevy El Camino, Mustang wheels. We are all over the place. So let's put the CRV wheels back on so that way we can get this thing pushed out of the shop. That way we can really take a step back and take it in. Bro, this thing looks absolutely insane. By far better than I could have ever imagined for how rough it was. I mean, over here, we had a whole new body line that was completely dented into it. If you really start to nitpick it, you can start to see some inconsistencies, but I'm not in the business of nitpicking. I'm in the business of trying to make stuff that had no hope, making it cooler, kind of making you question why I would want to build something the way that I want to build it. And it's all about trying to get people to say, maybe I wouldn't have done that, but dang, that thing looks real good, or I like exactly what you're doing. So I know earlier I mentioned that I wanted to discuss graphics with you or design. In the meantime, I have actually kind of got it dialed in on what I want to do. So what I'm thinking is, like, this was an El Camino Conquista is the type of El Camino that it is, or trim level, or that's just the way that it was painted before. So it kind of had a silver section, blue up top, blue down below, and that's how all of these El Caminos that are Conquistas came. So I want to take that, kind of mix it up with another concept for an older GM style that I like from back in the day, from back in the 70s. I want to take what I like from each of those concepts and put it together, and I just went to the paint store today and got everything dialed. I have 5 different colors coming, and that's all I'm going to save for the paint job for now. If you're excited about that and you want to see how that turns out, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you check out the link down below, because the shop truck could still be yours. Everybody who's participated in that helps support me directly, and I appreciate that so very much. Without doing stuff like that, I wouldn't be able to continue to do what I'm doing. So like I said, the support means the world to me, and thank you to everybody who has participated thus far. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of El Chapo. You like it in white? How could you not? Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'll see you on that next one. I'm out.